All music is the same. It's just a new set of lyrics and a new backbeat.
AndreGraziadei for the Backbeat Experience here today with a chat with Danny Bryant. Thank you for taking time out of your tour schedule to have a chat.
Pleasure.
You grew up in a musical home atmosphere.
Yeah.
So when did you pick up your first instrument and why?
Oh, well, why? Because probably I grew up in that atmosphere.
Right.
And I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
On the cusp of being.
Well, isn't that a little
15.
late?
Do you know, it probably is.
Yeah.
You know, people think that's early, but if
I think Joe Bonamassa picked it up like 5 years old.
I know. I kind of wish I had. I'd be further along now.
Yeah.
But no, so like 14 or 15, and then like I loved the stuff that my mum and dad had in the house. You know, in terms of records. So I gravitated towards playing blues rock.
Right.
You know, pretty much straight away. You know, there's a lot of Clapton and Roy Gallagher and Hendrix. And then I started to go back, you know, and discover the older stuff on my own. But around the house, that was it. And I think, you know, a lot of kids that are, you know, young kids or just becoming teenagers want to play a guitar at some point. It's like kids love guitars and, you know, cars and things like that. And I was never interested in the cars part. But yeah, but I stuck with it. You know, I liked it because I got a lot of encouragement. So, you know, from my parents.
So guitars and chicks.
Yeah. They come later, and then they distract you, and then.
Well, since we're on guitars, Gibson Guitars just filed for bankruptcy, and we'll try to restructure. But was the writing on the wall, if I think Guitar Hero, and what is your take on that happening?
My take on that is not really to do. I mean, you have a valid point with the whole Guitar Hero thing and that, but any way to find kids into decent music, because you've got things like Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff like that, is a positive. My take on the whole Gibson thing is two things. Is one, the guy in charge or the guy in charge of signing off on things made some silly decisions in that people go to Gibson for something that's like a heritage instrument.
Right.
They don't want robotic tuners. They don't want lime green colours. They want something that looks like the guitar their heroes played. You know, and if they played it, they want, you know, we're all like that. The other thing, their pricing got ridiculous. I mean, I was looking at a reissue 59 Les Paul. I did a Guitar Magazine interview in London the other week, and then they said, look round, we did it in a shop. And I picked up a reissue of a Les Paul, and it was £9,000.
What?
And it's like, what are they doing? You know, and so actually there's 3 points. The third point is that Gibson bought a lot of other companies that people don't know about, Philips and things like that.
Right.
And apparently that's what's dragged the company under. They're underperforming. So I think they'll restructure just with the brand.
Right.
But who knows? But
So,
it's a shame. But I don't think Gibson will ever die because it's like Fender.
Well, Fender's also kind of on the brink, are they?
There's rumours, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
But that's happened before. It happened in '69. They sold to CBS, and then a team bought them back again about 10 years later. So these companies, they're worth someone coming in and investing in them.
I think there's not enough music enthusiasts. There's too many suits.
Exactly, I agree. Welcome to the music.
That's right. But sticking with guitars, you're endorsed by Fred King Guitars.
Yeah.
What made you decide to hook up with them?
Well, I wanted a guitar that served a purpose when I travel. I make a joke that's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of guitars. So
Okay.
if I'm flying and I can only take one guitar, it can sound like a Strat, obviously, because it kind of looks like one, but it can sound like a Gibson, it can sound like a Telecaster. And people can buy it for like £800, so it's pretty affordable in today's market when, you know, certain companies like Gibson are charging a lot more. So, yeah, that was the reason, and so Trev Wilkinson, who's the designer for Fred King, he came to a show. We began a kind of working relationship and a friendship probably 10 years ago. And then he sold the company, but remained, you know, in charge of design probably 5 or 6 years ago. So they had a lot more money, and they approached me about doing a signature model. And so I just told them basically everything I wanted in a guitar, and they did it for me. apart from, they said, you can have anything you want. And I said, well, first of all, it's got to be green. They said, you can't have green.
Okay.
I said, okay, well, I want a white one. They said, you can have blue.
Okay.
Anything you want, but you can have this.
What, were you already on a Model T or what?
No, basically it was because I'd been playing a blue prototype for a long time. They said, well, people associate you with that,
right?
You know, maybe a little bit. So we'll stick with blue, but that's fine.
But blue is fine.
Yeah, if it was, you know, we were joking today in the van. You know, if it had been a red one, I'd have played faster. You know, say like a red car. You know, it's faster.
Right. And in German they say, wie heißt es jetzt der Spruch auf Deutsch? Blau ist eine Stimmung, keine Farbe, oder? Yeah. So blue is a state of mind, not a color. But anyways,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
So what prompted you to play and record with a big band?
Really, it's kind of it's a self-indulgent, you know, dream that I'd had because I love all these B.B. King records and you know. Just, I really always wanted to feel what, you know, that was gonna be like to have that, you know, brass section behind me and the keys and the rhythm guitar, and so we made an album and people liked it, so it's ended up being like an ongoing project in the sense that we have the 4-piece, and then we do so we do maybe 80, 100 shows a year with that, but then we do like maybe 10 or 15 with the big band, which is lovely. To keep doing that. And
tonight is that constellation here?
That's what you'll see tonight is the big band, yeah.
No, I'm honored then.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No?
I hope you enjoy it.
Well, I would think so. So earlier in your career, you've played alongside some of the world's best artists.
Yeah.
Was it intimidating, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, it's always intimidating. Not because they are intimidating, but their history is intimidating. What did I learn from it? How nice and humble they are.
Okay.
Basically, you know, when you meet someone that's done all that, they've got nothing to prove, and they're comfortable in their own skin, and they're welcoming, and they're encouraging, and they're nice, and it's they become bigger people.
Which isn't always the case.
No, it's not always the case, definitely. But I've been lucky with the people I've met. I mean, I've been around a couple of people, and I've seen that they're maybe not so nice, and I've just not bothered to meet them because it's you don't want it to be a disappointing experience. You know, but the ones you're talking about on that list are lovely. Yeah, very special.
Great, and you even got to record on your album with some of them.
Yeah, and that's always great. But you know, when stuff like that happens to you, it's brilliant, but it doesn't really feel like it's happening to you. It's sort of like you don't really feel like it's you.
Well, is it kind of like Pinch Me, or?
Yeah, I think it's like a way of coping with it. Otherwise, it wouldn't seem real. You just think, well, you know, I don't know. It's really hard to explain.
But you actually take the time to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 2014, you toured to support Walter Schroeder's album, The Blues Came Calling.
Yeah.
Right. That took you to Canada, the States, Europe, and even China.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like playing in China?
China was good. It was really it was at the end of a 9-week tour, so I was pretty beat up, tired, and didn't know what to expect. But it was great. It was very welcoming. I mean, it was like stepping on the moon. I mean that in a nice way, but I mean, you know, I knew what it felt like to be illiterate, because like you get there and it's like, you know, you're on tour in Europe. You know, you can make sense of everything.
Right.
You know, you get to China and it's like that's just a symbol. You know,
everything's just Chinese.
And then it's like the guy on reception at the hotel said, yeah, you got, you know, the Wi-Fi is really good and it's free, and then it's, oh, you can't go on Facebook, you can't, you know. So it was like, so in that, and then I wanted a can of Coke, and I opened the mini bar, what I thought was a mini bar, and it was a gas mask, and this is in like a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
Oh God. And I thought, but other than that, it was really good. But it was the end of a 9-week tour. We had a long flight. I think we flew to Frankfurt first, and then we had a 3-hour layover, and then another 13, 14 hours, and then straight to a show. Oof. And I said to the guys, we were sitting in the dressing room like this, and I still remember it, and I said to the guys, look, you know, we're here for a few days, be careful with drinking the water. Take the bottles of water. Let's be careful what we eat because we don't want to get sick. And I suddenly felt completely hot and cold. I puked straight down myself.
Ooh,
like food poisoning instantly. I was the only one that hadn't taken my advice. So I had to run to the bathroom, change my shirt, clean myself up, straight on stage. Yeah, not the most appealing story, but you wanted the truth.
I guess not, but pertaining to that, what was the strangest food you encountered there?
Well, I didn't eat it, but they have a lot of street food that's bugs and things like that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I encountered that in Thailand.
Yeah.
A wagon full of insects.
Yeah, it's like insect fried rice.
Which they say is the future of what we're going to eat.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot of room, it's a lot of protein.
There's some truth in that, I think, and but it's just getting your head around it, isn't it? It's probably fine, but they were lovely people. It was a nice culture, and they made us very well. And then once you get on stage, everything's the same.
Yeah.
Once you get in a dressing room, you get
the faces
a
are just
room.
different, but everything else
you get in a
is...
hotel room, a dressing room, a stage. It's the same.
Right.
You know, apart from the gas mask and the strange lighting they have everywhere.
So you got endorsement from Black Star Amps, which are kind of like an offshoot of Marshall.
They were, yeah, they were, and they approached me. Funnily enough, when we were on that American tour, and I was happy with the Marshalls. And we went into some guitar stores, and I tried one. So I refused the endorsement initially because I was happy with Marshall. And we went into a guitar store, and I tried one, and I was like, oh, God, I made a mistake here. I love this amp. So I went back and said, yeah, I'll try. You know, Black Star are officially the biggest selling guitar amp in the world now.
Really? Well, they're made in China. Is there a quality issue there?
No. They're not all made in China.
Some of them.
Some of them. Actually, the one I use is, but they do hand-built ones as well in the UK. You know, we went, and every amp is designed there. And we went. I went on a factory tour there, and the guy said to me, "This is what we do for quality control, and this is true. Every amp they build, we get it, and we go outside, and he took me out into the car park, little place, and we throw it on the floor.
Toss it.
And he said, and then we plug it in. If it still works, then the design's good to go."
That's a great testing ground.
Yeah, and that's true. They do it.
Amazing. Well, I mean, that's what it's going to get on the road.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If it doesn't hold up there, it certainly won't hold up on the road.
I never, took mine out and threw it on the floor, but yeah, no, it's a good way of testing it.
But then you're endorsed, so if it happens, then you get another one.
I do, yeah. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite day of the week to do a gig?
Well, I suppose the best day of the week is probably a Saturday because people don't have work the next day and maybe they relax a bit more. But not really. No, and once you get on the road, every day is pretty much the same. I don't like Fridays because the traffic's always a nightmare. So the journey takes longer. I have to get out of bed earlier, leave the hotel earlier because the road manager will say you've got to leave an hour earlier because it's Friday traffic. Okay. So I don't. So Friday's my least favourite.
Okay, well then I have an answer there. Revelation is dedicated to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he instill in you, which makes you proud that he did?
A love for music and a kindness for people and hard work and dedication to the music. And we were a very close family. You know, my wife manages me. My mum used to manage me. And my mum's actually here tonight as well because I'm away on this is like a 59-day tour. You know? So my wife went home for a couple of days. We had a couple of off days in Munich, and she came back and she walked in the lobby with my mum. So a surprise, you know. So we were a close family. Yeah. So losing my dad was very hard, but so I made an album for it. It's the only thing I could have done, really.
Well, family keeps you grounded.
Absolutely, of course, yeah.
So, talking about the new album, how did that come together? Was that a quick process?
Fairly quick. I mean, you know, certain songs were scattered about that I'd had written over the last sort of year or something before we recorded it. But in terms of the actual recording, it was about 3 weeks, I think. And they're all snapshots in time. You know, I mean, it's about my dad, but it's not a particularly down album. Some of the lyrics are quite dark, but it's you know, so, but it's not like, you know, it's quite diverse musically. You know, there's some straight ahead blues with the big band, there's some rocky stuff, there's some ballads, there's some acoustic stuff. And it took shape fairly quickly. I mean, you write the songs and you never know how they're going to come out till you go in the studio. But I like the idea of that. You know, it's like it's the only time you get to kind of step back from your own music and see it from the outside. You know, because the song's new to you as well. So for that first couple of times that you listen back to the take, you can really judge it, I think. Then you get used to it, and then you start criticising it in your mind. But that's when you have a producer to rein you in.
Right, to keep it on an even keel.
Yeah.
So looking at some of the tracks, Revelation, great track. Do you believe in the hereafter?
I do actually, yeah. But I mean, you know, you can write a song, you don't have to stick by. They're just snapshots in time. So
that's why I always see an album as a snapshot in time.
Yeah. So if I'm, you know, so not to go on about it, but say for example, my dad died. For a couple of weeks after that, you're going to question, where's he gone?
Right.
You know, why does God do this? You know, why is there suffering? So you write about it. It doesn't mean that that's your core belief.
Yeah.
So I think that album asks a lot more questions really than it gives answers. So a lot of people have said to me, oh, yeah, you know, but they're just snapshots.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I lost my mother just about a year ago.
No, so it's hard.
Yeah, it is. Isolate. It's a great riff. And straightforward blues. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Me too. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I really love to do the kind of sort of straight up ballads. I really like to do that.
Shouting at the Moon.
Yeah.
That's a legendary backbeat on it.
Yeah, I mean that's specifically about my dad. That is the last night we spent together. I mean, he was ill. He didn't die suddenly, and he chose to die at home. So you know, at my mum and dad's house. So my wife and I went and stayed there. And I sat up with him all night. You know, we were taking it in shifts. And he could still talk a little bit. It was just things we talked about. So yeah, so that's probably the most personal one. And I tried to write it in, he loved ballads, so I tried to write it in the style of what he would have liked.
Sister Decline, great single, and nice incorporation of the big band feel to it.
Yeah, I wanted something that had the big band and also had like a straight ahead blues shuffle, but was a song as well. So, and that, you know, that's really good fun we will do it tonight. It's good fun to play live. You know, it's got that kind of you know, that beat that goes through it. You know, it's good fun.
Great. All right, so my last few questions is I always ask either or. So you get to choose between either or. So, of course, being from England, would you prefer the ferry or the channel?
The channel is quicker.
Really?
Yeah.
And the ferry, then again, it's just water.
Yeah, it's just water. But when I'm in the tunnel, I don't like to think about all the water above
you.
I just read or something.
Okay. A movie cinema or a concert?
Concert.
Okay, why?
Well, I suppose it depends what movie and what concert.
Right.
But, you know, if I could go see Bob Dylan or go and see some chick flick, I'd choose Bob Dylan.
I would say the concert is a moment in time. The movie I can see anytime.
I think that's a better answer. We'll go with that.
Go with that. Barbecue or pizza?
Barbecue.
Barbecue. Man after my own heart. Whiskey or beer?
Whiskey. I mean, we're sitting with a beer here.
Scottish or Irish?
American.
American, really?
Yeah.
More so.
Because I like things with ice.
Ah, okay.
I don't
yeah, it's a crime to do that with Scotch.
Doesn't really.
No.
You know, I used to like Scotch, and I used to collect different stuff, and then I started wanting ice in it, and it just ruined it for me. So. No.
Yeah, that's like a cardinal sin.
Yeah. So I like a good bourbon.
Okay. Spring or summer?
Spring.
Spring?
Yeah.
Then everything is just...
It's ahead of you. Yeah. Or, you know, it's a... I don't know, I like spring. I I like all the seasons. You know, I quite like winter. I like the rain and you know, I don't like being too hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So Louisiana would be out of the question for you.
Well, I mean, we were in Arizona, and I think it was the hottest they'd had there for like 20 years.
Yeah, there's a dry heat there.
Oh, yeah, but it was like, oh God, you can keep it. I don't want.
Well, Danny,
Whoop.
I have the sound on here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I enjoyed that. Good question.
All right.